Hi, my name is Jared, and I'm not a naturally muscular guy. In fact, I was extremely skinny for many, many years. And when I found out that it wasn't my fault, well, that was one of the best days of my life. And if you're anything like me, you want to build muscle, gain strength, and just look good with your shirt off. Plus, have a set of arms that would be irresistible to women when you go out or even towards your significant other. However, I do have a confession to make, and that is my arms were so small that you could wrap your hand around my biceps. However, after years of painful struggle, getting picked on by guys who were bigger than me in school some years back, and receiving zero female attention at all, I was finally able to shed my skinny guy syndrome and build muscle the natural way without dangerous steroids or expensive supplements. And in fact, since then, I've gained close to 34 pounds of pure muscle mass while dropping body fat and gaining close to 3.5 inches to my upper arms. Plus, I have a lot more confidence now that I know what to do with. And I have to say thank you to Caitlin for that. And I've gone on to help hundreds to thousands of guys across the world achieve the same exact thing. And because you're here today, I've decided to put together this very short and eye-opening presentation on the 3 biggest mistakes that you're currently making in the gym that's actually robbing you of 95% of your natural arm growth. Plus, I'm going to give you a unique solution to slingshotting your upper arm growth into the stratosphere that you can use starting today. Now, I have to be totally upfront and honest with you and say that my arms are my smallest and weakest body part. I have incredibly crappy genetics in this area. Yet the solution that I'm going to give you today cured my small arm problems forever. No longer making me self-conscious to the point where I would wear long sleeves just so I can cover them up. And the biggest lesson I learned along this journey was this. I had to stop listening to all of the genetically gifted people and steroid freaks you read about on the internet and in the magazines. That's right. I actually stopped listening to these muscle-building gods and coaches that you might be familiar with. Now, you might be wondering why. Well, that brings us to our first myth of what it takes to get bigger arms. And that is the belief that you can get big arms by just focusing on bench presses, rows, and pull-ups. And if that was the truth, then I wouldn't have made this presentation for you, and I would have arms the size of bowling pins by now. Now, is it possible to get bigger arms from doing these exercises? Sometimes. Yet the problem is that for myself and millions of other guys around the world is that these types of exercises never place a lot of direct stress on our biceps or triceps because of biomechanics. Those exercises I just listed were great for the targeted muscle like shoulders, chest, or back, but never really our arms. So our arms just act like dangling hooks, never doing much work, which obviously kills any arm growth whatsoever. However, there is a simple solution to this. Are you ready for it? In fact, it's so brain-dead simple that you're going to say, duh. But it's true. You need to train your arms on their own day or individually in order to stimulate muscle growth with very specific exercises. Yes, I know it's that simple. Yet there are millions of guys out there who want big arms and listen to these experts who say you don't need to train your arms for massive growth. Unfortunately for some guys, this is just not true, and I was one of them. Whatever your goals are, you really need to pay attention to where you're getting your information from because it can delay your progress from many months to possibly years, especially if you want serious, quick, and permanent results. Now, this brings us to one of the biggest arm training blunders I see in the gym every single day, and that's guys who pound the living hell out of their arms with every imaginable exercise, shocking technique, and tons of volume and intensity, all in the hopes of getting arms as big as Arnold. Well, if you've done this before in the past and never gotten the results you were hoping for, it's because you overtrain your arms and your central nervous system. You see, the biceps and triceps are a very small group of muscles who get hit about 2 times per week already indirectly. And if you overtrain them without pulling back the volume on other body parts, you'll get no growth at all, especially if you burn out your central nervous system, which is the main engine driving your workouts and the boss when it comes to how much muscle you'll be able to activate in each workout. So when your central nervous system and motor neurons, the things that actually fire every single muscle fiber when you lift a weight, are burnt out and tired, the amount of muscle fibers that you're able to activate during a workout can decrease by up to 70%. That's right, by a whopping 70%, which makes it that much harder for you to see any noticeable results. You see where I'm getting with all of this? So in reality, you don't need that much stimulus in order to produce growth, yet too much, and you'll get no growth at all. Essentially, you're walking a tightrope of success and failure. Yet it's not your fault because we've all been there. There's nothing cooler than getting a massive pump in your arms, flexing when no one is looking, and feeling like a Greek god in the gym. And you know what? Speaking of Greek gods, you know those people that walk around who have won that genetic lottery ticket? Well, that brings me to my third point of why you cannot get the amount of arm growth you've been searching for, and it's because of your body structure. When you have short bicep and tricep tendon insertions, this limits the amount of actual muscle tissue, also known as cross-sectional area, that can be broken down and rebuilt. Therefore, the amount of growth that you can actually have will be limited. Now, here's a little test I want you to do right now. I want you to make a muscle, then take your pointer finger and middle finger and place them between your elbow joint and where your bicep muscle starts. If you can fit both fingers in there, then you have short tendon insertions like I just talked about above. And because of this, there's a good chance that a lot of your exercise selections and the type of program that you're currently doing is a big waste of time. Can you say thanks, mom and dad? Trust me, I've been there and made all the mistakes. And because I knew thousands to millions of guys all over the world were struggling with the same exact thing, I decided to put every piece of the arm training puzzle together into one growth-producing program that I like to call Armageddon. It's a complete training system designed with just one single purpose: to overcome your genetics and get you finally on the road to building bigger arms. Even if you don't have bad genetics, yet want to add an inch or two, plus shock your arms into newfound growth, then this is the program for you. However, before I get into the nuts and bolts of what you'll find inside the program, first let me tell you what this is not. This is not some arm training system designed specifically for guys who want steroids or a boatload of drugs. This is not some arm training program promising you to add 3 inches in the next 2 days or some other crazy over-the-top fake promise. And this is definitely not some program that you'll find inside one of the old and outdated muscle magazines. No, it's nothing like that at all. This program was specifically designed for guys who find it extremely difficult to add any mass whatsoever to their upper arms, or have been stuck in a rut for the past 3, 6, or maybe 12 months or more with barely, if any, noticeable results. So if you're wanting the real and truthful answer to what you can expect inside the entire 12-week program, then here is what you can experience. If you want to add a half to 1 inch to your upper arms in the first 28 days, if you want to discover how you can train your arms up to 3 times per week without overtraining, and even add up to 2 to 3 inches in the next 3 months with permanent lean rock hard muscle, then this is just not some program for you. This is the only program for you. Inside, you're going to discover a complete non-linear Russian-based periodization system, so you get every single and different type of strength quality so that no stone, or should I say, no muscle fiber, is unturned. This is actually one of the biggest trade secrets that I stumbled upon when going through old Russian-based training textbooks that allows you to train a muscle group up to 6 times per week without overtraining. So the more training sessions per muscle group you can get under your belt per week, the more growth you'll be able to see. You'll also get a complete video exercise library so you can see how each Armageddon exercise found inside is performed. Plus, a unique shocking technique to blast your arms into newfound growth. This is one of my favorites because the pain is so deep and intense. You're also going to discover the biggest mistake that you might be making in the gym that I guarantee you is robbing you of 95% of your gains, as well as an easy little twist to an old bicep exercise guaranteed to help increase your peak. So when someone asks you to make a muscle, you're not embarrassed to show off your arms. You're also going to discover how training this one specific and often neglected part of your triceps is responsible for almost 2/3 of your upper arm growth. However, don't worry, we'll be hitting this pretty hard inside of the program each week out. Oh, and let's not forget 12 total weeks of arm blasting, growth producing workouts. And trust me, even though these are for your arms, they are not for the faint of heart. Now, I'm going to sell this entire program for $77. However, today, you won't have to pay anywhere near that amount. In fact, not even half that. Not even $27. Because you're here today and I have a goal of helping 100,000 guys around the world pack on at least 10 pounds of pure muscle to their frames, and I want to get this program into as many guys' hands as possible, I'm going to give you everything today for a one-time small investment of just $17. That's not bad, considering this program from start to finish took me around 33 hours to put together, including filming and editing all the exercises, creating the actual who, what, where, and why inside the training manual, and the actual Armageddon program itself. However, I wanted to sweeten the pot for you. So, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to throw into the mix the entire skinny calf transformation blueprint as a value-added bonus. You see, I was going to release this program in the coming months, but decided I wanted to give it away for the next 24 hours only when you ordered the entire Armageddon program. So you'll be getting 2 entire, what I like to call, show-and-go training programs for the small investment of just 1. And all you have to do to claim this offer is click the orange rectangular Add to Cart button below right now. Again, this is not a bad deal considering that I have clients paying upwards of $197 per month online for these same exact results. Yet today you can have access to all of this for just one-time risk-free investment of just $17. There's a famous quote supposedly from Albert Einstein that reads, "The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result." Well, how long have you been doing this? Maybe following the same routine, same exercises, or even program hopping, only hoping to find a magical answer. Well, today, here is your answer. Grab the entire 12-week Armageddon program plus the Skinny Calf Transformation Blueprint for a whopping 78% off the normal price, and lock in your 60-day no questions asked money-back guarantee. If you're not at all satisfied with your results in the first 28 days, if you hate the program, or even hate the way I write inside, you have the right to ask for a full, no questions asked refund. I'm not happy if you're not happy. And here's another cool thing about the program. I've made everything completely downloadable to your computer. That's right. You'll have instant access to everything in just 30 seconds from now. No need to wait for any long shipping times or your delivery man losing your package in the mail. I wanted to get this to you as fast as possible, so if you can turn on your computer, then you have no problem downloading the entire program right away. So click on the orange rectangular Add to Cart button below. And once you do, you'll want to immediately open to the manual titled Fast Start Checklist. You'll want to tear through this right away. Now don't worry, it only takes 2 minutes to go through, yet very pivotal to getting you off with the right foot. So go ahead and click the Add to Cart button below right now, and I'll see you on the other side.